Education, Laurie Kilmartin.
Well, Jackie, you did your late night show. It was so fucking great.
I'm so psyched that this is amazing that you watched it. You know, Maria's did hers last night. I didn't buy a ticket. So you're a better person than both of us.
Well, I thought we established that on our first podcast together. Okay, coming around. Yeah,
it was amazing, quite honestly. It felt, what was interesting about it was that it felt kind of packed, and it felt like kind of contrived. And then I was watching the real late night shows.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they are.
Yes.
They're contrived sketches. Yeah, they're contrived sketches, contrived commercials, contrived interstitials.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
setups, flawed premises. Yes. Shoehorn as many fucking jokes as you can into something that probably shouldn't work and see if it flies. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is, it turns out. And it was super fun. It was amazing that it worked. I think I was nervous. Andy said that he could tell when I stopped being nervous, and which was when I just
point? Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. It's no, I think it was when I started sort of going a little bit off script.
Yeah.
And I just sort of, because it's so different than stand up.
Yeah.
You know, I did, that was so nice of you, because I sent you the monologue jokes that they wrote without me. And you were like, allow me to tweak these. And here's an idea. And
there's a ton of great jokes. I just, I mostly just tweaked and, because it was, and I don't know if other shows do it like this, where they just have one setup and then people just contributed 20 punchlines to it. But I definitely think every punchline needs its own setup. They rarely need exactly the same information, even if it's the same story,
Right.
So I don't know. So that's kind of what I was doing a little bit.
And that was perfect. So instead of 6 upfront jokes, I did 7. And because nice work. And then today's Sunday, so you won't be able to watch it after today. But they also gave it to me that I can cut up into stuff to, put out. And so I'm going to do that. The interview with Margaret was really nice.
It was great. It was great. It was great. It was relaxed. You guys are friends. It wasn't, it did not feel contrived. It felt really fun to watch.
Oh, good. Because it didn't feel super informative. It just felt, I was like, remember when we met? And it was like, I just thought that, and it was only like 7 minutes. And then Brian Swartz, who
amazing,
such a great trumpet player.
Oh my God, that sounded so beautiful. It was great.
Someone said, was he really playing? And I was like, weird. That's so, I mean, the guy's he's played with everybody.
Yeah.
And he's a studio musician, and I made him do those flugelhorn jokes.
Oh, really? Yeah. What was who was the reference? Chuck Mangione, I think?
It was Chuck Mangione, and then it was Chuck Mangione doing the national anthem, which was crazy.
Sure.
The only one that was, the actors even talked about this too, because what they did was I had to write down all the things that I like, so that the people who didn't know me could write to it, right?
Yeah.
And so the romance novel thing, the romance novel that I supposedly wrote, I did not write, though I did massage it a little bit to, because I don't think Gil, one of the producers who wrote it, reads romance novels. And I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and the interview with the romance novel couple was a really funny idea, but it got gross kind of weirdly quick. And I was like, oh, I should have massaged this a little bit more, because they had to weirdly sneeze in each other's face. It made it, I mean, I'm not saying there aren't romance novels where people are psyched about people sneezing in other people's faces, because there probably are.
But this is exactly why a talk show, any sort of talk show, late night show, needs at least 3 months before you make any decisions, because you're going to spend the first month going, oh, I don't do this. I don't like this. I feel uncomfortable. It might have been where you're interviewing 2 people that are playing characters, maybe you don't feel comfortable like that. You, Jackie Cation, maybe you'd rather, you know what I mean? But you don't know that until you're doing it in front of an audience and you're feeling this pressure, like this isn't moving the way I wanted to. That's how you figure out how you are during your show. So it takes a while.
It does take a while. I will say this about those producers, because this is the 57th month in a row that they've done this with a different comic.
Incredible amount of work. Yes.
Incredible amount of work. And they sort of have it streamlined.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the show was kind of spot on. Like more, I mean, the, Carmen Morales wrote that white on white commentary thing.
I love that. That was great.
And we were,
Yeah, go ahead.
We were going to do 3 of them, but it became so depressing.
Yes, right. In and out.
That we were like, why don't we leave it at 1? And the guy Dempson, who played the game master, he was the tech guy, and he came up with all of the assets, like he put the videos together, and he put all those slides up, and he made all that. That's so much work.
All the special effects, yeah. I thought the rooster thing was really great. That was my favorite.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And I thought for the romance novels, you could almost have the setup could have been, here's some romance novels you haven't heard of.
That could have been tighter. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
But whatever.
It was great. It was really fun to see. And it's so much to manage when you're the host, I mean, so the monologue is you alone, right? That's the last time we get you alone. And then now you're sort of, a circus, you're like a ringmaster. You're throwing to this sketch and that sketch and the interview and the music and moving it along and trying to keep, take the temperature of the audience. And it's hard too when you've got stuff scheduled and you're like, oh, I don't know. When you're trying to go, is this crowd gonna like this thing? You can't adjust it on the fly necessarily,
Right.
So it's a lot to worry about in addition to you just being yourself, especially you're like the director as well as the host.
Right. And the guy who was the director, the guy Ben, did such a great job with it. And it was interesting because it was so packed with stuff. Yeah. And then, but you're right about the audience, because the audience is all virtual in this case. They did it at the PAC for 3 years every month.
Right.
And then you could sort of, as much as I genuinely approve of Zoom shows and online shows for what they are, they're very different. And you don't get that sort of visceral feeling from the audience of, when they tighten up or when they don't.
Or when they're just looking, you could feel if they're getting bored with something. When you're on stage, you can totally tell in a joke, like, all right, I gotta cut this setup down because people are ordering.
Right. So and Rush Ticks, of course, and then for the first, I think, 10 months or the first 12 months of the quarantine, they've done it at Nowhere Club, the Ben Glebe, Steve Hofstetter one. Yeah. And this is the first month that they've done it at Rush Ticks.
Oh, I thought Rush Ticks did a great job.
Yeah, they really did.
Yeah, they send you as an audience member, you get the email as you're like, all right, it's about to start. And then it's as soon as the show's over, you have 24 or 48 hours to watch it. Here's the link. Like
that's great.
They make it easy for you as an audience member for sure.
Oh, that's outstanding. And then I will say that the guy who did the tech for Rush Ticks, his name's Dave, and they had worked with David. They had worked with him they'd worked with him at the PAC a couple of times. And get this, I guess we worked together like 10 years ago because he's a comic. And I was nice to him. Good for me.
Well, that could have gone either way, knowing your personality at times.
Could have been. I could have been a big shit. Anyway, but what he did was he made the owlbear move. Like Virginia found the owlbear graphic, and the guy David made the owlbear stomp across the thing. So that was kind of fun.
That's cool.
So anyway.
Yeah, that was awesome, and I'm sure you were relieved when it was over.
So relieved. I don't know if you stayed. If you ended up seeing, like when we prepared for the Bridgerton sketch.
Right.
Which, by the way, one of the lines got dropped, but that's live theater, man. Anyway, but
that's live Zoom, folks.
That's live Zoom. It was a Bridgerton ball, but it wasn't a Bridgerton ball. It was a cannon ball. So we did the franchise cannons.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because it was a Captain America's asses joke that was very funny that we somehow didn't happen. But so I was supposed to prepare for the cannonball for this Bridgerton ball, and I couldn't. The only hat I could find was this weird hat, and then I bought that food coloring stuff that they used Furioso, all the cancer kids in Fury Road, and they did Witness Me. And I didn't use it for real during the show.
Yeah.
But at the Q&A afterwards, I did it, and you're supposed to go sideways. I went up and down, so my entire face was silver. I looked like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. I don't know what you just said, but I believe you.
Okay, yeah. There were nerd jokes for everyone, you guys.
There were. I'm like, this show isn't totally written for me, but I'm excited to be here. What is flying across my screen right now? But the audience loved it. Your audience, the people that love that shit, were all over it, and so that's great, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And we did. I think it was a little over 300 tickets. So
amazing.
Yeah, so that's good too. And Virginia did. She has a Hell of Asgard hat. Virginia Jones, comic of the week. Winter Spears was amazing in the Bridgerton.
Yep. Yeah.
She was also Gaston Mansplain in the D&D sketch, and that was fantastic. So, and Pauline wrote that Bridgerton sketch. She was one of the producers, and did such a great. It was just, I just so much talent that wasn't me, which I think is so great.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, you had a mono, you had dust pieces, and you had videotape to throw to, and you had sketches. That's like the whole thing.
Yeah, who knew I could be collaborative as an egotistical stand-up comic.
Stand-up, right? And
yeah.
No, that's cool. And did it totally ruin your entire week?
Kind of. It literally, I was just like, but then we recorded some things earlier, which helped. Yeah. And I was fully vaxxed on Tuesday.
Oh. And
so I took myself to the Korean spa in the Valley, which was Tuesday. I recommend Tuesday at around 2 p.m. It's almost empty. There was like two other people in the whole thing, and it's huge. It's a Northridge Korean spa, so it's giant.
Oh, cool.
And it was so funny. I checked in, and the woman was like, "We had to raise the prices." And I said, "Yeah, it's a pandemic." And so instead of being $80, it was $90.
And tell me where this is. Maybe I'll go because I have next week off. And
Balboa. It's called CJ Grand.
Okay.
And
I've never been to a Korean spa.
Oh my God. They and the scrub and the basic thing is like the scrub, massage, and facial.
Yeah.
And she was wearing match, the massage people, because it's all wet. There's buckets of water being thrown at you at all times. Yeah. So she's wearing like a black bikini.
Yeah.
Just normal, like, not like sexy bikini. This is the least sexual experience. Yeah. And then she was wearing a matching black mask. And then I wore my mask through the whole thing until she did the quickest. There's like, it's a massage, a scrub, and a tiny facial.
Okay.
For $90. And
amazing.
And then she gives you an envelope to put cash in.
Sure.
And then you overtip like you do because we're in a pandemic.
Right.
But it was like I took off my mask, she did the thing, and then it was great. And I just laid there going, "Be a good piece of meat, be a good piece of meat." That was my mantra.
That's great. Yeah.
Felt so good.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get a massage, which I haven't gotten in over a year and a half, probably. So I also picked up another weekend of work. It's not this week, but next week. I go to Lowell, Arkansas.
Oh, and is it a Friday, Saturday?
It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday with Brian Regan.
Wow.
So five shows at a club.
Okay.
And it's the club in Lowell, Arkansas.
Oh,
I don't know. It might be called the Grove. Wait a minute. It might be called Grove something. And another comic.
Okay.
A
That's
comic
ballsy.
was
Yeah.
a comic was telling me that the guy who bought it made a shit ton of money working at Walmart,
Okay.
like he was a muckety muck.
Uh-huh.
Retired and then decided that he wanted. And I was told that it's a blue dot in a sea of red.
Oh my God, I want to go.
Yeah. So I'll initiate, and he's supposed to be pretty good, even though the month the headliners are all, it's Rodney Carrington, it's Brian Regan, and it's two other white dudes.
You got to get Arkansas used to come to the club. You got to, you got to, you got to play to your audience. And then every once in a while you sneak in some food they probably wouldn't like normally. And maybe
No, this guy, I guess, is a bit of a button pusher and has been trying to bring in women and people of color.
Of course, that's button pushing in Arkansas. Oh my God.
Right. Of course, he's a button pusher, and he owns a comedy club. That is the definition of a club owner to some extent.
Sure.
They're like, I'm going to make you like these comics I like. And it could happen in our favor now.
Yeah, use me to irritate your audience. That sounds fun. And where do you fly into?
Oh, that's the problem.
Where is it near?
Nothing. It is 2 hours from Tulsa. It is 3 hours from Kansas City. It is $1,000 to fly to Lowell.
Fuck. What about Little Rock?
Lowell is 5 hours. Little Rock is 5 hours.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So what
is
are
it
you flying
5 hours?
into? Are you flying into Lowell?
I'm flying into Kansas City because it was the cheapest, and I'm using frequent flyer miles.
Yeah.
And that's where Brian's flying into.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping to time it.
To the gig.
I'm hoping to get on his bus because his bus will meet him in Kansas City.
Wow.
And then, but I don't know if he's going to fly out of Kansas City yet. So I'm just doing round trip out of there. And if I have to rent a car, that's okay too, right?
Sure.
Because it'll be. And if I just have to, I might just have, like, if I can pick up the ride going there, I might just pick up I might just have to rent a car where I drop it off at the airport in Kansas City.
I think it's like still a $25 fee. I don't know. Maybe it's raised.
It might be $100, but I know, but it depends on if they need the cars or not. It's all very arbitrary.
They only need one car in Arkansas. The whole state, so I don't think it's worried.
It's Andy's dad's widow lives in Arkansas, but that's 5 hours away. I don't know. Actually, Little Rock might be 3 hours away as well. But whatever it is,
Arkansas was this big. I guess I thought it was smaller.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge, and it's this is northern Arkansas, so it's more grassland and stuff. But southern Arkansas is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
There's the outside of Hot Springs. There's a national park there that's to die for.
Oh.
Yeah. And a lot of people retire to Hot Springs. The mob retired to Hot Springs in the 30s, very famously.
Yeah. Is Hot Springs, is that where FDR used to go? Or I'm thinking maybe it was different.
If he did. No, it wasn't FDR. It was like Bugsy Malone and those guys. That was their vacation thing.
A different crime family.
A different crime. Yeah, it was FA, not Antifa. It was
well, that's amazing. I have live shows this weekend. That's right.
Are you going up to Alameda? Where are you?
Yes. Well, no, I'm doing Alameda in July. Oh, but this weekend, my surgery will be on Monday, the 26th. So this coming weekend is my last tour with the
jugs,
cities, I guess. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be at Hofkuch in Oakland. It's a restaurant that has. I was looking at the menu. Oh my God. I might just gain as much weight as possible because they're going to be taking so much out of my boobs. After I gain it first, I might as well go binge this weekend, right? On Friday night, and then Saturday I'm at Chambers in San Francisco, and they're putting me up in a hotel in San Francisco, and I'm flying out of Burbank on Southwest. I'm using my points as well.
Yep.
Flights were really expensive, but the points weren't so bad. It was kind of weird. So I haven't been on, this will be my first flight in like over a year, and a short one. And at least I'm not at LAX, which is just nightmare, right? Burbank's pretty tiny.
Yeah. Burbank's better.
I'll be double masking and all that. I'll be, in the airport, of course, and on the
You're
plane.
fully vaxxed, though. I mean,
yeah, but you never know.
Variants?
I don't even want the light version of it. Like every once in a while, somebody gets, even when they get COVID after fully vaxxed, it's a light version. But we still don't know what happens to your body 6 months down the line. We're still discovering that, you know what? No, thank you.
Right,
No,
fair enough. You can wear
My
masks.
family's taken enough of a hit from this fucking virus. I don't need to.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
And so I'm excited. I think they're both outdoor shows. In fact, they are both outdoor shows, and
cool.
both places have great food. I think I'm doing like a 5 p.m. and maybe a 7 at Chambers in San Francisco. So there's 2 shows. Please come out. It will be safe. It will be fun. I haven't been out that much. You guys haven't been out that much. Let's be out a little bit together in the beautiful, best part of the country. Sorry, Arkansas, the Bay Area.
Finally, some Bay Area, some magic. It's that's awesome. That sounds so great. Yeah, I want to do that. Yeah, that's how that sentence always ends.
Every time, basically every story about a gig it ends with who books that.
Right. The other person, is just like, and Kyle going, I'm taking notes. Please let me do these gigs. I will say, it's funny that the breast reduction is going to lose weight. Speaking of that, I talked to my Aunt Alice, who's 94, who literally, I talked to her yesterday, and she goes, I just wish I could lose 2 pounds.
How tall is she? That might be a lot for her height.
No, she's 5'4", and she's 94 years old. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'd like to lose 10 pounds, but I think that actually might not be healthy. And she's like, that would just, but if I lost 2 pounds, I'd be down to like 160 or 158 or something like that. And I was like, there was just silence from me. And I want to lose 2 pounds at age 94.
I'm glad the obsession never ends. It'll be our lifelong friend, our body hatred.
The body shaming never ends. And, but it's ridiculous. So other than that, my brother called me and told me to watch all of the J.J. Walker interviews, on different late night shows. Okay. And the TV Academy.
For your late night show?
No, just because that's all he does is he watches interviews on late night shows over and over and over again.
Does he watch like old Carson? Did you say he watches like old Johnny Carson stuff?
Yeah, Dick Cavett, Carson, Merv Griffin.
Merv.
Yeah, anything and everything. And his favorite this week is, he usually likes Norm Macdonald, but this week it's J.J. Walker.
What a life Merv Griffin had, right?
Yeah.
Multi-millionaire, but secretly, like just had a ton of real estate, I think. And like Bob Hope in a way, they secretly wheeled and dealed. And I mean, I know he had to be closeted, which sucks, but he had a pretty good showbiz life, man.
Yeah. It's the way of it, sadly, at the time. Mm-hmm. And though I will say, Russ told me a very funny story that someone tried to bribe or blackmail. I think it might have been Merv Griffin.
Really?
It might have been Merv Griffin. Oh no! Wait a minute. Who was famously? It might have been Paul Lynde.
Oh, you can't wait. Blackmail Paul Lynde?
Yeah, that to tell people that he was gay, and he was like, you are out of your minds if you think that no one knows that I'm gay. And he's like, feel free to tell everyone. And then be laughed out of the room.
Oh my God, that guy was so funny.
He was really funny.
Oh my God. I don't know anything about him. I just remember him being so hilarious, but I don't know where like, obviously he wasn't a stand-up, or he didn't come up. I don't think he came up in a Catskill. Like, how do you just find that funny person? I wonder if he was just a writer that was hilarious. And wow.
Right. I think he was just an actor. And they were like, this guy is funny with a script poured into him or not.
Yeah.
So, wow. I mean, that's the.
Wow.
Yeah. So when do you go up to the Bay Area?
Flying up on Friday.
Okay.
By myself, by the way. I get a little vacation. It's weird. Like, now I would love to take my son, but then we also would have to take the dog Now the dog is a pain in the ass to go on a vacation with.
Yeah. Andy's like, that dog is going to miss you so bad when you're gone. I was like, that's because it turns out, did I want a dog or did I just want to walk around my neighborhood 2 or 3 times a day and talk to myself? Yeah. So, is your son's dad going to hang?
Yeah.
Good.
They made an amazing family dinner last night.
Oh, wow. What was it?
Well, it was Mexican food with recipes from La Familia in Tejas, and it was fucking delicious. It was
that's outstanding.
Tacos, and the way they did the taco meat, and then his brother's secret recipe. His dad's brother, he won't even tell him what the recipe is. That his dad had to just like spy on him to try to figure it out last time he was home or something. But it was good. Oh my God.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I have to tell you that, I'm doing that joke about poor people food and flavorful origins. I had this chicken in the fridge that was there too long. And because I've been getting groceries delivered, they're not cut up. It's a whole chicken. And I didn't feel, I was like, I literally like hit a wall and I'm like, I can't carve this chicken up and marinate it and cook it. So what I did was I took the Instant Pot, I shoved the entire chicken into it, and I took all the hot sauces from various takeout that we've had and put it in there, and just like 2 or 3 cups of chicken broth, that homemade chicken broth or whatever, and then I just Instant Potted it.
What's that mean? You left it on like 8 hours?
I stewed it it was only 35 minutes, and the chicken fell apart and was delicious. And all the various different hot sauces from all, like, I Papa Que Rico and the Argentinian. I mean, it was a variety of different Latinx restaurants that we go to that they stack up. And you're like, I'm just going to put them all in there, and it'll be slightly spicy, and it'll and it was delicious. And we finished. No, we still have a little bit left. Today I'm going to make meatloaf. I have some ground beef and I have some sausages, some chorizo.
That sounds good. I'm going to make leftover tacos. So
good. That'll be delicious.
Yeah.
So what, do you have any other sets besides the road?
Let's see. Monday tonight, the Davis drops. We do the Writers of Conan present at Flappers. So that's a Zoom show. Tuesday, I have a Zoom show. Oh my gosh. This Becca, I think her last name is Neil.
O'Neill? Yeah.
I had a show that I was supposed to do for her like 5, maybe 2 months ago on a Tuesday. And I laid down to take a nap and I woke up and there was like a lot of text messages and I had slept through the show. I was mortified and so embarrassed. So she's going to let me try again. So it's Tuesday. I think it's a 4:30 California, 7:30 East Coast show. That's on Zoom. I will be tweeting about that. And then Wednesday, I'm doing a Zoomer for Dan Mills. And that's I think that's a 9 p.m. show.
Oh, nice.
And then Thursday off and then fly up to the Bay Area on Friday, Saturday. Sunday, come home, prepare the house for me being unable to do anything. I've been watching a lot of videos of women who talk about like the recovery and also on Reddit. But apparently someone's like, oh my God, wiping. Oh my God. So I bought a bidet. I have to install that because your whole upper arms are just like in complete pain because of all the cutting that they're doing up there, and it's starting to make me go, but you know what? It'll be hopefully fine. And so I'm going to install a bidet in the toilet, just like a little portable one, and just try to clean everything and keep everything down, everything I need at a lower level because I won't be able to raise my arms for a couple weeks. And or I'm not. Other people, other
recovered quick.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of just depends on luck and stuff. So, but I'm going to assume the worst.
Prepare for the worst. Yeah, like the Laurie Kilmartin original. And then just be pleasantly surprised when it isn't so.
Right.
It'll be delightful.
I bought a pregnancy pillow because you have to sleep on your back for like a couple months, which I fucking hate. I still haven't been able to do it. I've been practicing, like giving myself little trials, and I like always within 20 minutes, I'm like, this fucking sucks. And I'm back on my stomach.
Oh.
So that's gonna be tough. But I also think what's hard about it is my boobs come up and strangle me. So that's well, that won't be happening. So maybe it'll be a little bit easier. But they have these pillows. I didn't use them when I was pregnant, but they keep you from rolling on your stomach. So they also work for surgery and restoration stuff.
Yeah, I have to say that I'm excited for you. I hope it. I hope it's great.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm trying to figure out. I'm supposed to fly out to Arkansas the day I had my next dental appointment, but I put myself on the wait list, and now I have a dental appointment on Tuesday 'cause there's a rush. But remember, I have not been to a dentist in a dozen years, so there's no way this tooth cleaning thing is gonna work. That is just gonna be once. They're probably gonna be like, it's gonna be 4, one for each quadrant of my face.
Right.
Though I will say he had to pull a tooth when he did the examination and the x-rays.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, one of the teeth should come out. And I was like, can you do it right now? And he's like, what? And I said, yeah, I don't want to come back. And he's like, well, you're going to come back for the cleaning, right? And I said, yeah, but can you, I mean, this'll,
I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, then it won't be 6 times to the dentist. It'll be 1 less. And, but I didn't have any cavities or root canals or anything. I just,
that's great.
I guess it's just my teeth they want out, is what I'm saying. Hey,
Well,
do you guys want to do a break?
More than anything. Jackie,
you want to do an ad?
No. Yeah, let's do it now.
week?
What you want to? Let's do our ad.
Okay.
The Jackie and Laurie Show is supported in part by The Rock from the Sky, a new children's book by John Klassen from Candlewick Press. John Klassen is a #1 New York Times bestselling creator with many titles and awards to his name, including a Caldecott Medal. That is a big deal with kids' books, Jackie.
That is Rock from the Sky, you guys. Go check it out if you have children who want in on a very deep, deep message.
Critters.
And then, yep.
I think we got to read it verbatim, right?
Oh yeah, you go for it.
Okay. Critters adorned with various hats have their favorite spot in a rather post-apocalyptic looking landscape, but they remain blissfully unaware of a large rock hurtling towards them. I mean, isn't that us basically right now? Threatening complete oblivion. Klassen is known for his deadpan storytelling, as reviewers have commented. This is Waiting for Godot, imagined for the playground population. Get The Rock from the Sky now, wherever you get books.
Okay, and then I have this to say, you guys. Libby, the Jackie and Laurie Show, is supported in part by Libby. And Libby is a free reading app created by Overdrive that lets you borrow ebooks and audiobooks from your library on your phone, tablet, Kindle, or computer. All you need is a valid library card from your library. We should all have a library card, you guys. Even if you don't have a library card, you can read samples of any book you see, which will just make you want to go get a library card and then download Libby. Libby works just like your physical library card, except, get this, you simply borrow available books you want to read, and then they return themselves automatically after your loan expires. That's kind of exciting. And I have to say that... It is great, and I moved this thing too fast. I am so sorry. Here we go. Download Libby in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store to start borrowing and sampling ebooks and audiobooks today.
Love Libby, love books. I am, you know what? One of our, Cynthia Sweeney, who wrote The Nest, she's married to Mike Sweeney, who as one of the head writers of Conan. She wrote The Nest, which is like this great book, major bestseller. And she just wrote another book that I'm going to get. But she did this great interview with the New York Times, and she had mentioned that she tries to read a chapter or two of a book every morning before she even hits her email, just to, start her brain okay,
Oh, wow.
And so I've been trying to do that a little bit with the book I'm reading by Emma Kennedy, and it's good because I normally then I just read at night after I've read to my son, and it's like 2 pages, and then I'm out.
Yeah.
It's taking me for fucking ever to get through this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I know people who wake up early and go for a walk and then meditate. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to be one of those people. I wonder if that'll
Yes.
ever happen.
Every morning I would have loved to have done that.
You know what I do when I wake up every morning? I wake up and I grab my phone and I play Marvel Puzzle Quest. Is that anything like that? It's I play a video game for about 45 minutes, do my daily Deadpools, essentially my Marvel Puzzle Quest chores. And it wakes me up because then I mean, I think the key thing is not to wake up and read the news first thing.
I know.
Not before you have breakfast, not before you have some sort of beverage. Do something else for yourself before you start your day with, and it's all world news. And you're like, well, I can't actually fix Brazil
or India.
Yeah.
Are you reading what's happening with India now?
The COVID.
Yeah, I mean, both of them, they don't have enough resources to take care of people. And so you've got people our age trying to get their parents to any place that will take care of them. And oh my God, it's so horrific.
You did see that because that's how I saw it. The sketch on Colbert about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Oh yeah. That was
that interview where it turns out 1 in a million. One person out of 1 million died from the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, a woman.
Well, no, got a clot, not necessarily died.
Well, 6 people got clots. 1 person of those 6 people died.
Okay.
And it was all women who got it. That's this much I know.
Thing. Yeah.
And then, but then she pointed out that 1 out of every 1,000 women get clots and can die from the pill.
Yeah, I remember hearing that when I was on the pill, and I'm like, oh, what's a clot? I'm fine. I can't believe young women are aware. I was just so oblivious to everything. I'm just a comic.
Right. Well, and there was no one to talk to. Remember, we were alone in those rooms.
That's true. We weren't getting. I mean, who knows what our 20s would have been like had we been on Twitter and being informed all the time.
Exactly.
Very stressful.
Hey, let's do comic of the week.
Yes.
Because I found her, and she's a New York comic, and so freaking funny. It was, what I've been doing is just, there was a Zoom show that I was looking at that a friend of mine was on, and I was like, well, who's that woman?
Yeah.
And so I Googled her, and it's Jordan Jensen, and she's a New York comic, and she's freaking hilarious.
Cool.
The stuff, I think it wasn't from The Stand, was it, Kyle? It was New York Comedy Club.
New York Comedy Club, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, great. I love New York Comedy Club. I didn't watch her set before, but I will after we finish taping, so that I can.
It's so I mean, her stage presence is exceptional, and then she's throwing out punchlines, and the premises are all super interesting. Yeah. So Jordan Jensen, find her, book her, make her your friend.
Listen, I've never seen you this enthusiastic before, so I'm excited.
I'm doing a panel this week for some armed forces stand-up comedy thing. They asked me, they were like, hey, people who got out of the army or the armed forces, they want to do stand-up. This is a support thing.
That.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So I'm just going to do a panel and tell them that, they have I mean, if you've been in the armed forces, you've been overtrained for like showing up for things, and that is a good portion of stand-up comedy. Just show up. It's
yeah, and hopefully you're not a white nationalist.
Oh, right, that's a big thing, right? So I'm doing some weird show where it's like they roast you. Like you do your set and then they roast your set, and I was like, why? Why would I
say yes to that? Listen, those conversations are supposed to be had without you listening to them in the back of the room. All right. No one's really going to tell you to your face what they think of your jokes. What you need to do is do that one headliner that put a mini micro cassette recorder in the women's bathroom to hear what the women were saying about him. We should secretly mic the back of the room while we're on stage if we want to know what other comics think of our act.
And we don't.
No, not at all.
But you know why I accepted it? It's because Danielle Koenig is one of the judges, and I liked it.
You gotta do it.
Yeah, she's a friend of mine, and I don't necessarily want to hear what she has to think about it either. But I haven't seen her in over a year, so I'm like, I get to at least stare at her Zoom face. That'll be fun.
Sure, that's good times. I did Love It or Leave It. I did the podcast on Friday. That's why I was in mono joke mode after, prepping for that and just tweaking some things with you. I was like, man, it's fun to write jokes. I miss this,
Yeah, super fun.
As far as I know, the last 2 weeks of our show, I think I told you this, we'll have an audience. So it'll be more like,
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. So at least there'll be that. And will it be at Largo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they'll be at Largo with a crowd the last 2 weeks of Conan. So hopefully people can get tickets. I think they're going to be great shows, and we'll all be so pumped.
I'd love to come to that. I'd love to come to a couple of those or one of those. Yeah, that's neat.
It's sad, but
it is sad.
Whatever. It is what it is.
It is what it is. And you don't know anything about what's happening next?
Nope.
Okay. What else? I watched a lot of television. I watched 2 episodes of that City of Ghosts animated thing on Netflix. It's an animated show set in Los Angeles in different neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all of the voice actors are children. Like the old Peanuts.
Oh, okay.
They actually cast children to play children.
Oh, cool.
And they have a ghost club, and they help people who have ghosts. I watched the Boyle Heights one, and I watched the Venice Beach one.
Okay.
And it's kind of adorable. They're 18 to 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The animation is weird. It's got that Uncanny Valley kind of vibe to it because the kids are all more cartoony.
What's it called?
It's called City of Ghosts.
Okay.
And the background's super hyper real.
Oh.
So it's kind of a wild animation style that's very, very pretty. And the writing is very funny and very sweet.
Okay.
I didn't do Sunday services today because of the Rush Ticks thing.
Yeah.
And somebody paid me in advance after last Sunday. And then I wrote on their Venmo, because that's where you find out. I was like, hey, the show's over. Are you paying in advance for next week? Because I don't know if I'm going to do it. And she never responded to the Venmo thing, but did today, emailed me and said, hey, I never got a link for today's show. And so I said, oh, you should check your Venmo because there is no show today. Do you want a refund? And she emailed me back and she goes, oh, I thought the one with Atsuko was going to be this week. And I was like, oh, you are behind on 2. You've missed 2 beats.
You know what? This. These Zoom shows come fast and furious, and you got to keep up with them.
Yeah, I got a call from. So I got a call. I suppose I should type it because he said that he didn't like the venue. But he asked me if he should. So he calls me up and he says,
okay,
hey, we're not doing live shows indoors, right? And I said, yeah, we are. Everybody's, supposed a lot of people are doing them, and you're vaccinated, right? And he goes, I am vaccinated. But they want him to go to this this room, and he's like, and it's in the South, and he's like, nobody's going to be vaccinated, and it's going to be super red. And I said, well, I'm going to Lowell, Arkansas. It was before I found out it was a blue dot in a red sea. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you're vaccinated. If they're not vaccinated, you'll wear a mask when you're off stage. You aren't going to hug any of these people. I don't.
Does he sell merch? Does he sell merch?
I'm not going to be able to sell merch, by the way, at the Lowell
thing. You're not going to be able to, or you're not going to?
I'm not. I didn't want to bring it up because I brought it up to the Live Nation guy, and he was like, I don't know. And I thought about me saying, because Brian Regan has never sold merch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
So me saying to Brian, hey, I'm thinking about selling merch, I can literally picture him going, all right. And and I don't want to weird him out in any way, shape, or form. He probably doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not here to, I'm sparring with Apollo Creed,
Yeah.
So I'm just here to set him up nice.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Who are you coming back to? Like, you're coming back to Andy, who's vaccinated.
Yep.
Now this comic is coming back to kids. I'm coming back to a kid who aren't vaccinated. And that's one thing. It's like, oh, even, it's likely you're not going to transmit it. It seems like that's what the CDC is saying. Although I feel like I read a different news article every day, but also don't want to risk that. I understand being apprehensive. He could get a fast response test and see, if he's got,
when he comes back, you mean, or?
Yeah. I mean, if you're vaccinated, yeah, I can understand that apprehension. Like,
no, I could totally understand that apprehension. But I was like, I think it'll be fine. And
I do too. Yeah. I'm so excited. Pfizer's they're applying to vaccinate kids 12 to 15,
Yeah.
I'm like, please, let's just get that
Start doing that. Yeah. One of my friends, their kid just turned 18, and so he got it. And
he's 16 and older now.
Yeah. And so it's pretty great that people are getting vaccinated. Though I think all these, because I genuinely would take the Johnson & Johnson, even with that risk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what are they going to do? Are they going to throw away 20 million? Or are they going to send it to fucking Brazil?
Oh God. Yeah. Send it someplace if they can't. But yeah, and also it's only one shot, and a lot of people are, understandably worried that they're going to have a terrible reaction, for a couple days. So, maybe
the Pfizer needs a booster in 6 months, I'm told.
So, yeah, I think Moderna does too. I think they might all, just because of the other variants. And the thing is fucking India is it's so out of control in India that something I saw, it was like a double variant is popping up. And I'm like if we don't get it under control in other countries, these variants, they're going to arrive at the United States.
Right. I understand why you want to just fix, try to get to 85% here.
Yes.
Right. I get why Biden and the government wants to do that. And then by then we'll be cranking them out and sending them out. But so many people are going to die in the interim, and it's just sad. That's all.
Yeah. In Brazil, I read that healthcare they're having to intubate without anesthesia. They don't have anesthesia. They're out. So they're like, not only the trauma of the person having this thing shoved down their throat, right? That's they're like having to mount these people because, of course, they're going to be some of them might be delirious and fighting back. Just like an auto response. So you're just like hovering over a person with COVID who's, like trying to fight you off. It's awful. It's awful.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Yeah. Hey, let's take another Max Fun break on that cheerful note. I will say, so this week I've got a lot of backed up dork forests that I need to record, and I've got I want to do a VO reel, right?
Yes.
And I want to pet a horse. A friend of mine has a horse that I can pet.
Oh, neat.
So those are my plans. What do you?
Let's see. I have to do some tax stuff. I have to listen. Oh God, I gave notes on what jokes I wanted from what sets, but now I have to listen to their versions of the show so I can give them exact time codes because I just listen on my iPhone.
Right.
So that's a mounting problem.
But here's the thing. Did they give you some general time code?
No,
because you should be able to scrub through.
I can. It's just, it'll probably be about 2 hours, and I've already done it, so it just has to be done again. That's it. But
yeah, it's just a task. Yeah,
it's a task. And then comedy. It's weird. I have to pose for cover art, and what I want to call it corset, because it's about my mom and my son. So it's the things that are binding me. It's a lot of, metaphor, guys.
You're an artiste.
Yes. Wear like a corset, but not like a sex corset. Sorry, everybody, but like something. And so the photo would be from behind, and you just see the thing just tying me really tight. But I'm like, I won't be able to pose for that for like at least a month and a half,
Right.
So unless I do it immediately, but then
you could just get art graphic of it and then just pose for normal pictures for the back, or an inside cover kind of picture.
Yeah, I guess
because it could be art.
Yeah.
But that doesn't sound like that's what you want to do. So
right.
I'm
trying to sell merch here. Okay, I'm putting a non-sexy boob shot on the cover. Okay, I don't want to go full sexy because then it looks like I'm exploiting. But half, okay, I'll take.
So go to Laurie's OnlyFans. She's not exploiting.
You want to get some people that are buying it for the comedy, and then there's other people that just buy things for boobs, and so you want to get one without losing the other,
Mm-hmm.
Because if comedy snobs will be like, oh, what's going on there? So you got to ride that line, Jackie.
Ride the line.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to tell you not to. I was just thinking about we should switch Alameda dates, don't you think? So that I could have your July and then you could have my September. No,
that's quite a thing to spring on me. Well, I mean,
I don't even know if the club wants me to do that. It just occurred to me. I was like, because literally in the back of my mind, there's just been a little bit of she's doing Alameda in July. I don't have any work in July. She's doing Alameda in July. I don't have any work in July. Hey, nutbag, why don't we just leave it be and trust that there will be work in frickin' July?
September is when my kid is in school.
Oh my God!
July
right,
he's not, and it yeah. I mean, I know that we're interchangeable. I understand that. And
yeah, some Zoom show was like, Laurie did the show 2 weeks ago. We're having you this week. We would love it if you guys would both come and do the show together. And I was like, you know that we do the Sunday services almost every week. It's not. I mean, I don't know why that's a.
Oh draw. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, other people could see us both together, but sure.
that's the draw.
We'll take any gig.
That's why.
But yeah, I've done other podcasts recently, and it's exhausting. Even though it's fun, I always have a good time. But the build up, the dread of noon on Tuesday, it's
Yeah, and then we have to do an extra one for Max Fun. A bonus,
my God.
So that when
I'm
people
happy to reward. I'm happy to
reward the Max Fun listener.
Yes. To me, that's an extra hour of fun in my life.
We could do it. You could do it from inside the pool. You know what we could do? We could do a live one because we're both vaccinated.
Oh yeah.
We could do an outdoor because did you get your first shot yet, Kyle?
Yeah, I get my second one a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, we could do
let's just sit on the deck, guys.
Yeah,
this week before I go on the road. That'd be cool. That'd be a lot of fun.
There you go. We made it fun.
Woo! Yes.
Yay. Where are we at, Kyle? Was that what a great ending.
We got 7 minutes of ending left.
You gotta be kidding me. I swear I thought we started this right at noon.
No, we had to record some other stuff.
Ad.
I'm getting a haircut in 15 minutes. So as soon as this thing ends, I'm going to shovel food down my throats. I'm trying to get all my stuff down and get my hair done. I'm going to get a pedicures because it's like preparing to have a baby. You're going to be debilitated. Except there's no baby. But the thing of like, it's going to be hard to walk and move. And so I just want to get everything clean. And
do you think that your boobs are 7.6 ounces?
They're definitely 21 inches long.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I think why I was approved as the right one is a full cup size larger than the left one.
Okay.
When you look at the size, when I look at other women on Reddit, I'm like, mine aren't as debilitating as theirs are, But I think the fact that they're not the same size maybe pushed me over the edge. I'm so thrilled that my health insurance is covering it because it's like
it's 30 grand, 20, right?
It's around 20, maybe around 20 to 25, say.
Okay.
And I was I didn't think that I was like, oh, they're probably not going to cover it. So anyway, that was a huge relief.
You lost me so I was scrolling titties, and
I don't remember putting it that way, but that's how you heard it. That's the most important thing, Jackie, and that actually reveals more about you than me.
It really does. I've been working on that non-binary gender sexuality thing lately, just because I almost forgot it because I hadn't worked on it in like 5 weeks, and now I'm back, and it actually has a lot of new life, which is kind of exciting.
That's cool. I think because you're so careful in that bit, and which you should be, because it's about that. But it's nice to just let go and say titties.
Oh yeah, just sometimes.
Return to your roots.
It was oh my gosh, who was it? Brian Cook on Twitter posted this weird clip of Bobcat Goldthwait and Sam Kinison arguing, clearly before 1992, which is when Sam Kinison died.
Sure.
And they were so bitchy and catty at each other. I was like, wow, you two. What?
Kinison stole one of his jokes.
Right, and
I think it was Kinison, or
it was according to Bobcat, it was Kinison.
Yeah, I kind of would believe Bobcat, but Kinison isn't here but Bobcat was a Bay Area comic, so he has my loyalties.
Right, and Bobcat's still alive and is always very nice
and a good guy. Yes.
Yeah. Kinison, well, I mean, but I did think it was interesting because Kinison, whoever he was talking to, he said, Bobcat calls me sort of the idiot version of him. And it was these weird, like huge, I was like, wow, you guys are airing your dirty laundry on whatever morning radio show this is.
Oh, interesting. It wasn't Alex Bennett, was it?
Might have been.
Live 105?
Still don't know. But right, maybe look up Brian Cook's Twitter feed because it was triggering.
Go ahead.
To listen to Kinison, because Kinison was always distantly polite to me, which is of course the gold standard of how famous people should treat me. That's all I'm looking for. And anything above that is great. Anything below that, I'm like, no, I don't like you. And so
that was though an interesting time of comics who were vocally strange, right? You had Kinison, you had Bobcat, you had Emo, you had Judy Tenuta, Bob Rubin. There's probably others I can't think of.
The nanny was what's her face?
Well, she wasn't a stand-up though.
Fran Drescher, I thought she was.
No.
Actress.
Oh, okay.
No, get her off of this podcast. Nice lady, but she doesn't belong here. Stand-ups only. But that doesn't really happen that much anymore because it is an affect that maybe feels strange. I don't know. I maybe it'll come back. Things always come back.
Yeah, Josh Fadem.
Oh, was he bitching about somebody or getting bitched at?
Voice.
Oh, he has.
That's not his real voice. You don't think?
I think I've spoken to him on stage. It's not quite that big all the time.
Right. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, Kyle has proven me wrong with his one example.
Throwing this house of cards all apart.
Bam! It's done. And I will say that I'm having a pretty good time staying home these days too. You know, like Andy went to the grocery store for the first time. He's like, we're both vaccinated. I'm going to mask up. I'm going to go to the grocery store and just buy groceries. And I said, I can't tell you how disappointed the Instacart people are. So I went through yesterday I have to buy new clothes. Like I don't have any pants. I've gained weight. I don't have any pants that fit me and any pants that'll be good on stage. So yesterday I forgot that it was Saturday. So I went to Magnolia near Hollywood. Like there's a bunch of sort of really cool thrifty stores and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was crawling with humanity. I couldn't face it. And so instead I just went to the Baskin Robbins drive-thru. That's going to help my situation. And in walk two guys who are wearing matching black T-shirts that say "Bullets Only" on the front and the name of a gun range on the back.
Oh my God.
And matching black masks. And my first thought was, oh, ice cream brings us together. And then my second thought was, I'm in line at the drive-thru. If these guys pull out guns, am I supposed to drive over them? And can I get to them? And I thought, oh, America. You're so gross.
Yep.
Love it.